I am Zainab Ibrahim, and here is our news in brief. To start with, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu postponed a planned trip to Ogun State to personally visit Jos and commiserate with victims of recent deadly attacks in the state and Wurukuba district that left dozens dead. After meeting with Caleb Mufwang at the presidential villa to discuss the worsening security situation. Meanwhile, the Nigerian police force has deployed police mobile force units and tactical teams to Plateau to stabilize the area as Tinubu prepares to assess the security situation and console affected communities. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has suspended recognition of all leadership factions within the African Democratic Congress due to an ongoing court dispute. The decision follows a ruling by the Court of Appeal directing all parties to maintain the status quo until the case is resolved. INEC said it's received conflicting claims from rival groups, including factions linked to David Mark and Nafiu Bala Gombe, each asserting control of the party. To remain neutral and comply with the court order, INEC stated it will no longer engage with either faction, refusing to recognize officials, process communication, or participate in party activities. In a swift move, the African Democratic Congress has rejected the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC's) decision to withdraw recognition of its leadership, calling the move unconstitutional and politically motivated. The ADC accused the federal government of attempting to destabilize the party and alleged that pressure was placed on INEC to influence the decision. In another development, families of detained Nigerian military officers staged a peaceful protest at the National Assembly demanding justice, speedy trials, and the release of their loved ones. The protesters, mostly wives and children, carried placards with emotional messages and appealed to the government for access to the officers, I beg your pardon, many of whom they say they had not seen for months, as children also expressed distress over the absence of their fathers. The families insisted the officers had been held for over 6 months without trial or adequate legal access, describing the situation as a violation of their fundamental right. And on the international scene, Russia has signaled its readiness to help resolve the conflict in the Middle East, with President Vladimir Putin engaging regional leaders and offering Moscow support to transition the military situation in Iran towards peace. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov emphasized that easing tensions will require dialogue and negotiation, suggesting that a potential Russian-Arab summit could serve as a platform for such efforts, while also responding to U.S. concerns, including President Donald Trump's statement on Iran and NATO, which Russia regards as a hostile alliance. Moving on to business news with Hadiza Galadima. Hello Hadiza, what's going on in the business news today?
Thank you, Zainab. You know, you're nothing short than all the things that is happening in the economic landscape. Good afternoon, I'm Hadiza Galadima, and this is your business news on S24 Rundown, bringing you the most critical developments shaping the market and the economy today, from Nigeria's shifting energy landscape to a massive profit surge in the industrial sector and the geopolitical tensions sending ripples through the global financial markets. Let's get into the headlines. We begin in the energy sector, where the Nigeria Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission reports a shift in the nation's resource wealth. As of January 1st, 2026, Nigeria's crude oil reserve have declined to 37.01 billion barrels. However, the narrative is different for cleaner energy. Nigeria's total natural gas reserve have climbed to a staggering 215.19 trillion cubic feet. And UPRC Chief Executive Erishameyiwa Eyiso noted that while oil stocks show a gradual decline, the boom in gas reserve positions the country for significant growth in the global energy transition. And in the industrial space, BUA Food has posted a stellar financial performance for 2025, with revenue hitting 1.77 trillion naira, a 16% increase from the previous year. Profits after tax show a massive 95% jump to 518.4 billion naira, prompting a proposed dividend of 28 naira per share. This growth comes as BUA Group Chairman Abdul Samad Rabiu and UBA Chairman Tony Elumelu formalized a high-level partnership. The collaboration aims to boost large-scale manufacturing and export-oriented value chains, signaling a major push for domestic production and infrastructure. Despite a drop in the central bank's monetary policy rate to 26.5%, Nigerian manufacturers are still grappling with a credit crunch. Lending rates remain as high as 60% at some institutions, creating a massive gap between borrowing costs and deposit rates. Industry experts, including Shegun Ajayi Kadri of MAN, warned that this high cost of capital has led to a significant drop in manufacturing loans and a 45% decline in foreign investment in the sector. Leaders are now calling for urgent policy reforms to prevent a long-term industrial slowdown. And finally, on the global scene, Wall Street is in the red this Thursday, April 2nd, as U.S. stock future fails sharply after President Donald Trump warned that military operations in Iran could stretch for another 2 to 3 weeks. The Dow, S&P 500 and Nasdaq all slid by approximately 1% as investors brace for prolonged geopolitical instability. The news has sent energy prices soaring, with Brent crude jumping above $105 per barrel, further fueling fears of global supply disruptions. That's the latest from the world of business and global affairs. We will continue to monitor how these shifting interest rates and energy reserve impact our pocketbooks and the broader economy. For the S24 Rundown, I am Hadiza Galadima. We will be joining Zainab Ibrahim and Abubakar Suraki for newspaper review after the break. Stay with us and do have a productive day ahead.